Okay, students, Namaste. Today we are going to read about the last lesson of evolution. Before it, we have done about different theories of evolution, and mainly we discussed about Lamarckism and Darwinism. We also discussed about their drawbacks, and we compared these two. Today we are going to study about variation, mutation, mutation theory, and role of mutation and variation in evolution. Okay, so let's see. Before starting about variation and mutation, at first I'm going to ask you one question related with today's lesson. The question is, why do offsprings of same parents have different characters? Do all the offspring of the same parent have same characteristic? They are completely similar? No. So why it is not? So answer of this question we will get in today's class, and the process which brings that similarity is called as variation, about which at first we are going to discuss. Variation. So the slide itself defines variation. You start to understand by these letters. Are they of same colors? No. Are they of same height? Obviously no. And is their inclination same? All of them are vertical? That's also no. One is vertical, another one is slanting leftward, rightward. Yes, you can say. You can see here that it is all the letters are not similar. Not only that, see the hands gripping the letters. Are they similar? Color of skin? No. If you very deeply, if you are seeing the length of fingers, length of nails, so how deep do you like to go? You will find dissimilarities among them. Yes. So variation is related with dissimilarities. In what sense? Later you will understand. Okay. Now I am giving you another example. There are different types of butterflies. Here in garden, we see different colored butterflies. Yes. So look here, these butterflies are also very easily can be identified because of their different colors, different sizes. That is also variation. Okay. Another example will be little bit tough. Yes, 4 chicks are shown here. Yes, 3 of them are white and 1 is black. So this black one is different from these 3. Now my question is, you find, not question but suggestion, you find the difference between these two white or these two white chicks. Are they similar? But you have to observe deeply. See the color of beak, color of beak. Yes, here also you can compare the color of beak. Not only that, see the color of legs. Yes. So that is different on it. Yeah. So here beak's color. If really you have such creatures, that means such organisms in front of you, you can find out these differences. So here not only black and white different, but these two white chicks are also different from each other. You see in another example, look, that is these 3 birds. Here this one is different from these two. These two are similar, but that one is different. Yes, by color it is clear. But if you see them, these two are the exactly same. Start from head, look the region near the eye, and here similar. See the beak, that is broader at base, and here broader means comparatively to that, everyone has broader base, but relative to these two, this one has little bit longer beak, here shorter. Not only that, see the neck. Here the neck, this region, is it similar? No. Yes. Like that you can see here this region, here more green part, blue part is here. and here less. So here this light part is at this region, but here this light part is at this region. So if deeply you observe, you will find that these two birds are also different. Yes, they are of same species. Why other animals only? Why not human beings? Have you seen our twins? Yes? Okay, doesn't matter. I will show you twins. Look here, these two babies, these two boys are very similar from each other. But if you observe their face, you will find little bit difference. Look here, this face is not so healthier. Healthier means the physique here little bit thinner, and that one is little bit more healthy. Yeah. So here ears shape you can see. Yeah. Teeth are similar. Yeah. Teeth are about similar. Eyes, I think bigger and smaller also. Yeah. And here you can see other thing also, you can compare whatever are visible in your class. If you have twins, then first some days it is very difficult to identify them because you don't know their features. But if you observe their face deeply, you will find the difference. Deeply you have to see. Somewhere you can say black, you can see black spot. Yes, darker region. So that will help you to identify your twin friends. Another two girls I am showing. Look here. These two girls, facial appearance is very similar. Even they are wearing the same cloth, same materials here, and here also the clips are also similar. Yes, ornaments are also similar. Tika is also similar. Yeah, and facial appearance is also similar. But if you see deeply, that region you can see, is it different? Yeah. So you can see closely, you will find the difference in them. Here from these diagrams, these pictures, I would like to say you that there is not dissimilarity only of that means a group of organisms. In twins also this dissimilarity is found. Yes, and that dissimilarity, as I told, that is close to variation, about which we'll discuss. And look here, why only animals? Why only human beings? In plants also, all of them are apples. They are of different shape, different size, different colors. Yes, someone is elongated, someone is round, someone is yellow, someone is orange. I mean orange color, not orange, not lemon, orange. Here, okay, so here color is different, shape and size are different. So they are variation. So what may be variation in fact? The dissimilarities among the organisms of any species is called variation. Of any species. It is found in all the species. From example also you found that it is found in plants, it is found in animals, including we human beings, in smaller creatures, big animals, big plants, also that is found. Yes. So that is variation. What is cause of variation? Variation may be caused by two factors mainly. One is environmental factor, another one is genetic factor. Environmental factor and genetic factor. Environmental factor, you can say that climatic condition, food taken from, that is also obtained from the environment. Yes, food. So these things are environmental factors. If some machines also may cause difference. Yeah, genetic factors, which is caused from germ cell during, that means before the birth of an organism, when fertilization takes place, then in germ cells that change occurs. That is called as what? Genetic factors. So main two causes of variation. Now on the basis of the cause factor of variation, it is divided into two types. It is means variation is divided into two types. They are somatogenic variation and ballastogenic variation. And if you here, look here, they are closely related with the factors. That variation which is caused by environmental factors, that is called as somatogenic. Somatic, vegetative, somatic, and from that this word has come, somatogenic. And belastogenic variation is that which is caused by genetic factors, because of genes, disorder in genes, disorder in number of chromosomes. Yes, because chromosomes also contain genes. So that is belastogenic variation. If, for example, somatogenic variation, consider a farmer was putting straws in machine to make its small pieces. We say bhusa to feed the cattle. We make the straw in small pieces. Yes. So in machine, accidentally, one of the hand was not escaped out, and it was also passed with straw. And such accidents are very common in theory. And each finger, that means finger, was divided into number of pieces. Until the machine is closed, that part is finished. Our fingers are cut, separated. So the person will be without fingers. Other persons have fingers in their hands, but the person is different. Because of what? Because of environment. That machine is also in the environment. That is one example, accident. Another example, if any person, I can say if twins are separated from very young stage, one lives at very hot climate, in very hot climate, another one in cold climate, their skin color will be different. Yes, that will be because of environmental effect. If out of twins, one is given very hygienic foods, another one is not completely, that means the baby is surviving in malnutrition, no enough food for him, her, then the baby who was getting good balanced diet will be healthier than another one. So that variation is due to food. So such variations are called as what? Somatogenic variation. And belastogenic variation is variation in skin color, variation is hair adjustment, that is curly or straight, variation in eye shape, variation in nose shape, variation in ear shape, variation in height. Yes, variation in finger shape, length of hand. So each and everything, other things which are caused by what? Genes, they are called as what? Belastogenic variation. Okay. So number of examples you can give. Not only somatogenic and belastogenic. Two other terms are also used for the type of variation. And on the basis of presence or absence of intermediate characters, it is divided, means the variation is divided into two types. They are continuous variation, which has intermediate character. This is not, I don't think that you are explained clearly about it, because if you search it in international sources, websites, you will find the thing that continuous variation, because some persons have misconception that only mutation is discontinuous variation. So be clear here. Mutation about which we have to read, that is discontinuous variation, but only that is not discontinuous. So here you have to understand continuous variation and discontinuous variation clearly. Continuous variation is that which has intermediate characters. Intermediate characters means if you are saying that one of your friend is tall, so what is the parameter of the tallness? What is the height? How many feet and inch is considered as the tall? There is a high range. Some persons are taller, some are shorter. There is a high range between tall students. There is no clear-cut demarcation that after that inch the person will be shorter, after that inch that will be tall. Yes. So there is no clear-cut demarcation. Skin color is fair. How much fair? Yes. That may be more fair, less fair. There are range. Same thing with that means short, that is related with height. physique, fatness, and then thinness. That is also no, that diameter is of thin boys, thin girls, and that diameter is of thick boys, I mean fat boys and fat girls. No, isn't it? So they have more intermediate characters. Other points I will discuss later. I will give you differences among them. Discontinuous variation, which has no intermediate character. There are some exceptional cases. For example, if we are talking about sex, male or female, a person may be male or female. There is third sex also in existence. Yes, we say tesrulingi. Yeah, so there is exceptional case. Otherwise, most of the persons are divided into two sexes, male or female. So we have to accept exception somewhere. Another thing, blood group is very good example of it. You cannot say my blood group is A positive but little bit A negative. No, either A positive, A negative, 0 or O, or AB positive or AB negative, O positive, O negative. I can say 4 group on the basis of that, blood group A, B, O, AB. Isn't it? So here is not mixing up. Here is not more range in blood group. Fingerprint. Fingerprint is another example. Fingerprint is another example. That is example of what? Discontinuous variation. Yes. Okay. So variation may be continuous or discontinuous. What are differences between them? Try to understand. Nothing is here. There is something. Look here. There is possibility of intermediate characters in continuous variation, as I explained. There is no possibility of intermediate characters in discontinuous variation. Yes. Okay. Continuous variation is influenced by the food and environment like factors. How interesting. Continuous variation is influenced. That means physics can be changed. The surrounding can change the skin color. More exercise can make strong muscles. Isn't it? Good food makes a person healthier. So these things are continuous variation, which are affected by what? Food and environment. And this continuous variation is not influenced by food and environment like factors. So there are different type of societies in human communities. In some communities, girls are accepted as good babies. Yes, and in some communities, boys are taken that. So here, doesn't matter. Here I am going to give an example. For example, there were twins born. Both of them were boys, son. And if one of them is given very hygienic food, then it was changed into female. It became female baby. Can it happen? No. We cannot change sex of an organism by giving good foods. We cannot change our blood group by giving good or bad food. I mean complete or incomplete food. We cannot change our fingerprint by environmental activities. I will make my own fingerprint. You cannot. Yes. So this continuous variation is not influenced by food and environment like factors. Next one is more number of genes are involved in continuous variation because there is more range of characteristics. So obviously there is involvement of more genes. And its example is given: height, physique, skin color, IQ, etc. And discontinuous variations, last point, less number of genes are involved in discontinuous variation. Example: fingerprint, blood group, sex, etc. So I think you are clear about continuous and discontinuous variation. So from today, you do not have that concept that only mutation is discontinuous variation. Can you say that a person is male or female because of mutation? Can you say that a person has special fingerprint because of variation, mutation? No. But that is discontinuous variation. So mutation, you have to understand that mutation is a part of what? Discontinuous variation. Okay. Now, we have finished about variation, its types, different types of variation. Now, let's see what have you understood. Can you define variation? Very easily, yes, we can. That dissimilarity among the organisms of any species. Yeah. What is the type of variation called which is not affected by environmental factors? What may be? Not affected by environmental factors. You can answer that is ballastogenic. But look, ballastogenic also affected slightly. Main thing is what? Discontinuous. So you may be confused that ballastogenic, which is occurred, which is caused by genes, or discontinuous. So the best answer is what? Discontinuous variation, which is not affected by environmental factors. Give an example of continuous variation. You can give number of examples for it. Yeah, very easily. Define discontinuous variation. I think now you are able to define discontinuous variation. That variation which does not have intermediate character. Yes, that is called as what? Discontinuous. And finally, do all the variations transfer from generation to generation? It is not necessary. Yeah, here you are not explained well about it, but you can guess its answer that all the variations. But in previous lesson, you have studied that the transformation of variation from one generation to another generation causes evolution, which was the main point in Darwin's theory. So link this knowledge with that theory. Yes? Okay. So I think you have understood about variation. Now you have to say about mutation. Mutation. Oh, what is it? Crocodile. Is it the natural color of crocodile? No, it is fair. It has fair body. This crocodile has fair body, not so dark as usually crocodiles have. So here it is very different because of mutation. So here is one abnormal character, yes, caused by mutation. Another abnormal character I will show you. Oh, what is that? Two head of snake. Have you seen ever? No? So if you visit in Natural History Museum, which is at the bottom of the Swambhu Hill, if ever you get chance to go there, then visit inside it. There was a specimen of this snake. If a snake may have two heads like that, then why not Sesnag with number of heads? There is possibility or not? There is possibility. Yes. So a snake may have number of heads also. A person can be imagined with 10 heads also. Usually that is not found, that is rare. But here it is found, it is real. Yeah, this snake is real. Okay, so that shows the possibility of such things. Okay, next example, there are three sheep. These two are common, but this one is very different. So here, not only that height, it doesn't mean that if in a group of tall organisms one is shorter, then it is because of mutation. Don't have that concept. But this sheep is very different from the other sheeps. It is due to what? Mutation. Okay. Shortness, dwarfness is called, shortness or dwarfness is caused by hormonal growth also. But here some other characteristics also show that it is different from the parents. That means the group of sheeps. Here another, this cat, what is different in it? Find out. Can you find? Difference, ears, head, each and everything is like cat. But see the tail, it is like of dogs. Look here. It is very different from cats. Remember once the tail of cat? It is very similar to the tail of dog. And it is what? This is because of mutation. So here Another example, I think many of you have seen, usually calves have 4 legs, but here is bonus leg also, 2 more legs. Have you seen such calves or cows, bulls? I think many of you have seen. And some persons have faith of God in it. But I'm not saying that you don't believe on God. I also believe. But it is blind belief. Yes, it is mutation. It is not the form of God. Yeah. Okay, it is mutation. Because of mutation, there is extra leg from back. Oh, it is also very common. Cut at lip. I think many of you have seen it. By birth, that cut occurs with nose cavity, mouth cavity. There is a deep cut. Yeah, that is also due to mutation. Oh, look here. What is different? All of them are uncommon. Count the fingers from that region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Looks normal, but 6 fingers. And this one is very common. That is rare. These two are rare. Here are only 4 fingers. There are 6 fingers. But this one is very common. I think many of you have seen a side finger and fifth one. Either in that one or in that one, it is found. Yes. So all of them are what? Because of mutation. Till now, we have not studied that what is mutation. Just examples we are seeing. You have to define yourself. Mutation is that. Okay. Not only in animals, plants also look here. Number of branches of that carrot. Normally, carrot is single. Carrot, yes. Red is single. But here are number of carrots connected together. It is an example of mutation. Another example, look here. Usually peas are green. That means peas are green inside the pot. But here one is of different color. That is due to what? Mutation. And another common example I will show you. I think you have seen such tomatoes nowadays. Also, it is very common in market. So here, look here, number of tomatoes are joined. Yes. So it is also what? Example of mutation. Next one. What is different from this? That means how does this flower differ with that? It is very common. But that one look like connecting two flowers. Here also. That is mutation. Oh, apple of two colors in the same. One is darker, another one is lighter. And not only that, see another uncommon thing. Here outer appearance is apple and inner is like guava or you can say watermelon, isn't it? So they are because of what? Mutation. So from these examples, what can you say? Mutation? Is it common as it is found in parents? No. So a sudden chromosomal change is called mutation. A sudden chromosomal change brings new characters in offspring, which is very different from parents, and that is called as what? Mutation. Now, when sequence of DNA, that is difficult for your level, but you should know that RNA, DNA are two nucleic acids found inside our cell. So, if the sequencing of DNA are inside DNA, the codon is also a difficult term for you, different nucleotides are components of DNA, RNA. If they are disturbed due to error occurred during cell division, that means at the time of fertilization, before fertilization, during fertilization, or by the influence of environmental changes, that is radioactivity, chemical, etc., they can cause such changes, then mutation takes place. Yes. So mutation is always genetic, not somatogenic. It is not caused by environment. That means the environmental factors also have to effect on what? Gene. And then only mutation takes place. So mutation also causes variation. Mutation also leads variation, but only by what? Genetic change. The organism in which mutation occurs is called as mutant. The calf which was shown here, that was mutant. If any person has 6 fingers, then the person is what? Mutant. So the victim of mutation is called as what? Mutant. And the cause factor of the mutation is called as mutagen. As you were explained here, radioactivity, chemicals, they are mutagens. They can cause what? Mutation. Yeah. In mutation, very different characters from parents are seen in offspring. Already I have discussed. And mutation may be somatic or germline. And students, one more thing you have to know here. Mutation is of 3 types. They are neutral mutation. Neutral mutation is that which does not affect or does not cause any variation in organism. The example is very difficult for your level because here I have to use example of glutamine. Glutamine is a component of protein, amino acid. Yes. So if that amino acid is, if changes from CAA type, that is not in your course, into CAG type, in fact, they are components of DNA, RNA especially, cytosine, adenine, cytosine, adenine, guanine. So the codon is changed, but it does not affect on the variation of organism. Organism is similar. Yeah. Next one is positive, or you can say useful mutation. Useful mutation is that which supports to adapt in the environment. For example, due to this type of mutation, you can say that bacteria develops defensive property in its body. Because of this mutation, they are not affected by antibiotics. So that is useful mutation for them. Next one is harmful mutation. Harmful mutation is that the variation caused by this mutation harms an organism. This mutation in our body may cause the formation of more mucus, and that obstructs respiration inside our body. So that is what? Harmful variation. Okay, mutation, harmful mutation. In fact, mutation leads variation. They are not synonym, but mutation is one cause of what? Variation. Okay, so mutation may be neutral, useful, or harmful. Okay, now mutation theory. You know who gave mutation theory? In earlier class, in last class, we discussed about it. Yes, Hugo de Vries. In 1901 AD, he added mutation theory in Darwinism. Okay, he told that only Darwinism, as Darwin told, evolution does not take place. Evolution is also done by mutation. Okay, so Dutch biologist Hugo de Vries gave this theory, founded this theory, and he used, it is plant's name, evening primrose plant. Common name of that plant is evening primrose plant, and its botanical name is Oenothera lamarckiana for his study. He used this plant for his study for founding mutation theory. What is given in it? According to mutation theory, the new species are formed by mutation also. Thus, mutation is also one of the basis of evolution, not only as Lamarckism and Darwinism taught. Now, functional new characters are expressed suddenly in new generation. You know that sudden chromosomal change leads new characters, and these new characters are functional according to this theory. Okay, the characters obtained from mutation may transfer generation to generation. Okay, what is the truth doesn't matter, but the theory says it. Next one, the organisms having useful variation which is obtained from mutation, because the cause of variation was not explained by Darwin. He told that variation is caused because of mutation, and that useful variation is selected by the nature, as Darwin explained, natural selection, and useless variations disappear gradually. Yes, more variations, when number of variations take place inside an organism, it leads to evolution. Okay, so it is mutation theory. What is the criticism of mutation theory? First thing, the plant which was selected by him, Oenothera lamarckiana, was not a normal plant, not a common plant, but a complex heterozygous plant formed by chromosome deviation. That means, due to change in chromosome inside the plant's body, this plant was formed which was not homozygous. That means the chromosomes were not of similar characters, number of characters carried by them. Such traits were found in Oenothera lamarckiana. Okay, now second point is neutral mutation is not so common as described by Hugo de Vries. It is not very common. Mutation is always harming. I can say in many cases, not always, more harms. There may be some advantages also, maybe some neutral also, yeah, but they are of different types as I discussed. Now, most of the mutations are retrogressive, as already explained. Retrogressive means what? Negative, already explained in second point. Mutations are generally recessive. These terms are very new for you. That's why I'm writing some things in point. At first, you understand what are traits and characters. Traits are those who, because of which characters are expressed. Traits are the things found inside the cells which cause characters. Only that is different, but traits and characters are taken synonymically also. For your level, you can say synonymously also, you can take synonyms as synonyms. So, the traits are suppressed by dominant traits. Two types of traits, two types of characters are found in our cell. So, those characters who can suppress others are dominant, and those who are suppressed by dominant, they are recessive. So, that thing is given here. So, mutation are generally recessive, not dominant. That means they should be suppressed by dominant character. How do they transfer into next generation? How do they express into next generation? So, here that point is taken as drawback. The theory is unable to explain clearly the development of mimicry. Mimicry means there are some organisms which look like other organisms. They are very similar because of what? That is not because of mutation, that there is another cause. So, here mutation does not explain about mimicry. Natural dependence of flowers and pollinating insects, that is also not explained by this theory clearly. And last one is, the theory does not touch the role of nature in evolution. So, mutation theory may be a part, but there are many weaknesses. And in last, we are going to discuss about role of variation and mutation in evolution, as it is given in your curriculum. Role of variation and mutation in evolution. Okay. Already we have studied in Darwinism that how does variation play a role in evolution. Yes. So, here more point we will not discuss, just I will that means collect these points here. According to Darwin's theory, positive or useful variations are the main factors of evolution. Already you have finished. Deleterious are negative. Same thing. Deleterious mutations, or you can say harmful mutations, causes abnormality. So that abnormality sometimes becomes large seeds, sometimes becomes larger fruits, and beneficial mutation causes variation. So variation is caused by all, advantageous and disadvantageous both. Abnormality is produced, and sometimes this abnormality becomes better for other organisms or same organisms. I'm saying other organisms because if fruits are bigger, seeds are bigger, that is good for the organisms who depend on them for food, isn't it? Useful variations cause evolution. Okay, now the third one is, nowadays artificial selection is very common in agriculture sector using mutation and variation. Genetic engineering is also a part of it. So, because there is also what? Variation, artificial methods of variation are used there. Okay. So, it is about the role of variation and mutation in evolution. And here we have finished this unit. But what have you learnt in today's class? And how much you have learnt, I have to test it. So, at first, you see that what have we learnt? We did what is variation. Dissimilarities among the organisms of any species is called as variation. About its different type we studied, somatogenic, belastogenic. Then we studied about continuous and discontinuous variation. We did about mutation, cause of mutation, mutant, mutagens, and then different types of mutations we studied. They were neutral mutation, they were useful mutation, they were harmful mutation or deleterious mutation. Yes. So, different type of mutation we did. After that, we studied about mutation theory, which was founded by Hugo de Vries in 1901 AD, and then its drawbacks also we have studied. Yeah. After that, we studied the role of variation and mutation in evolution. Now, your term has come. You have to tick the correct alternative. First question is, what is the sudden chromosomal change called? Very simple question. Sudden chromosomal change? Yes, that is mutation. Good. Now, next one is Down syndrome. A new term is given here. Down syndrome is a disorder. In fact, it is chromosomal disorder about which you are not taught. But you know that it is abnormality occurred in human beings caused by abnormal number of autosomes. Autosomes is a type of chromosome. In our cell, there are two types of chromosomes, autosomes and sex chromosomes. So here it is, this abnormality is due to autosomes. Doesn't matter, it is information for you in our organism. Which type of mutation causes it? Okay. And it is, if you don't know what is Down syndrome, it is very difficult to answer it. So, Down syndrome, some characteristics I will show you. In it, an organism, it is occurred in human beings. That means shorter height is found in it. And then less growth of brain. Yes. Speech is not clear. So, like that, there are some characteristics, not all. So, here now for guessing your answer, so that is neutral, positive, negative, or artificial. Your answer, negative. Yes, negative means harmful. Yes. Okay. Now, third one is, which of following is discontinuous variation? It is easier, but think little bit. Shortening of the size of tail of dog in an accident, dark color of skin in human beings, changing CAA glutamine into CGA glutamine, as I gave you as example of mutation. Do you remember? Having blood group AB positive. So your answer matches with it? Yes. Now next one is, who suggested that evolution is caused by mutation also? Easily you have guessed it is. Here's Hugo de Vries, gave in mutation theory. And now you have to answer some subjective questions. Variation, just you have to note down. You will write answer later. Variation is not sole cause of evolution. Justify. Second one, define variation with example. Write difference. Next one is write differences between variation and mutation. And next difference you have to write Darwinism and mutation theory. Fourth question is related with a diagram. A diagram of abnormal number of fingers is shown alongside. You can count them. That is not normal. On the basis of it, you have to answer what change inside cells causes such characters. Second one, what is the role of this event in evolution? And the last one is, what are the factors called which cause the event? Okay, that's all for today. Now, we'll see together in next class. That's all for today. Namaste.